Hello everyone, this is part 56 of our playlist Full Stack Python. Okay, so this is our training course. This is a training course. Here we are learning theory in depth, as well as we are learning programming in depth. Okay, we are learning theory in depth, as well as we are learning programming in depth. So this is a training course. It is not just a video. Okay, it is not just a video. It is what? A training course. All right. So in this training course, we will discuss on functions. In this video, we will learn the category of functions and what is the function definition. See, all right. So function is having two parts. Function is having two parts. Number one is function definition. Number two is function invocation or calling or execution. So what is the mean of definition? What is the mean of definition? For example, if I write here def, def is what? Def is a keyword. Okay, def is a keyword. And then if I write function name like speak. Okay, function name is an identifier. Okay, an identifier cannot be keyword. Okay, if I say identifier, identifier. So identifier cannot be keyword. Okay, identifier cannot be keyword. Identifier is what? Identifier means user define user defined name. Okay, so function name is what? Function name is what? Identifier. And identifier is what? User defined name. And user defined name cannot be keyword. I hope you are getting. Okay, so what's the mean of function definition? We are learning. What's the mean of function definition? Okay, so here is def is a keyword, speak is a function name, and here we will create a column. Okay, this means we are creating a block. Okay, so if I say if I say print hello, if I say print hello, so what will happen? This is what, if I talk about this, so this is the definition of function. This is a definition of function, and start with def keyword. Okay, this is what definition of function, and function have two things. First one is function definition, and second is function calling or invocation. And function calling is means we have to call this function in order to print hello. So we will write the name of the function like this, and this is known as function calling. This is the function definition. Okay, and this is function calling. Okay, calling. Correct? I hope you are getting. Let me tell you and one example. Let me open IDLE so that you can easily understand what is the mean of function calling and what is the mean of function definition. It's very simple. Just you have to be focused, okay, in order to understand. So let me save the file. Okay, on desktop. All right, here programs, and here I will write function folder. I'll create. Okay, here this is a one program. All right. So for example, if I want to create a function, so first I need function definition. What I need? Function definition. Okay. So how we can give function definition? How we can write function definition? First we will give keyword. Def is a keyword. Then I will write the function name. Okay. Like speak. Speak is what? Function name. Function name should be what? Identifier. And identifier cannot be keyword. Then column. For example, if I say print hello world. If I say print hello world, so what will happen? This part is known as function definition. Okay, if I run the code, so what will happen? Nothing will happen. Okay, if I run the code, then nothing will happen. Why? Because we need call to the function. We need calling statements also. So this is the definition, which is one part, and then we need after definition we need function calling. Okay, so calling. So how we can call the function? Just we have to give the name of the function like speak. Okay, this is executable statement. This speak, this what we are doing, we are calling function. It's mean this is what executable statement. Executable statement. This is executable statement, but this is not executable statement because if we will not write speak, it will not execute. Once we write speak, so it will execute. If I ask you like how many executable statement here, so you will say only one executable statement. If I run the code, so what it will print? It will print hello world. It will print hello world, right? Okay, if I write speak again, and so this is another executable executable statement. Okay, if I run the code, so what will it will print? It will print hello world two times. Okay, if I remove the executable statement, So what would be the output? If there is no calling statement, so what would be the output? Nothing. There is nothing to display. Okay, there is nothing to display because there is no calling statement, or we can say executable statement. Definition is not the execution statement, but when we call, it becomes executable statement. So for example, I can write more than one executable statement. Okay, how many executable statements are there? One, two, three, 4, and 5. Okay, we have 5 executable statement in this program. So 5 times hello world will print. Okay, I hope you are getting everyone. All right. Okay, so now we will try to write same program on PyCharm. Okay, as I said earlier, like we will work on ideally, which is PyCharm. Okay, we will work on PyCharm as well. Okay, we will work on PyCharm as well. So first we will download PyCharm. Okay, why we are working on PyCharm? So that we can mention in our resume like we already work in Python ideally like PyCharm. Okay, notebooks like Google Colab. Okay, Anaconda. Okay, Jupyter Notebook like that. So that's why we will explore different ideally as well. We can write the same code on Python software as well. Like Python ideally as well, we can write the same code, but we will explore other ideally as well because this is not just a video. This is a training course. So in this training course, we will explore like many things. Okay, so here first we will, for example, first we will search Google search. Okay, here is a Google. I will search here PyCharm PyCharm download. Okay, I will write here PyCharm download. So we will download PyCharm. Okay, so you will go to this first website. No, not the first website. We will go here PyCharm Community Edition. We will download PyCharm Community Edition because it is free. It is freely available. All right. Okay, this one is for Windows. Okay, when once you click here, it will start downloads. Okay, let's say you click on the very first website when you write PyCharm download. If you click on this first website, so see the interface of this website. Okay, here we have PyCharm. This is for professional worker. You have to pay the money. Okay, here if you will download this professional, so please do not download this professional version because it is not free. But we will download instead of this, we will download what community version. Okay, PyCharm community version we will download. Okay, you can download from here Softonic from Softonic as well. Okay, okay, here is the PyCharm community edition. Okay, all right. I will provide the link in the description so you can easily download this PyCharm. Once you click on download, once you click download, okay, not like this. Okay, once you click here, free download, so it will automatically start downloading. It will automatically start downloading like this. Okay, so you can see here, this is our PyCharm. This is what our PyCharm. It's downloading. I already downloaded, so I will stop this downloading here. Okay, once you successfully download, then you can install the PyCharm, and you will see your PyCharm here. Like here, you can search your PyCharm. PyCharm. Okay, Community Edition 2023 3.1. This is the version of my PyCharm. Okay, so I will open it, and you will see this interface when it will open. Okay, let me open it. Okay, so you can take a new project as well. If you want to take new project, you can start from new project. So you can give name to your project like first, uh, or you can say functions, correct? And it's asking this window or new window you want to open. So I want to open on this window only. Okay, and here I'll take. Okay, it will take some time. And this is virtual environment. Okay, do not worry about it. This is what a virtual environment. I will I will take this file scratch.py, and here I will try to write the code. Okay. Once if you don't know like how we can install the Python PyCharm, and if you're getting error, you can watch any video from the YouTube like how to download PyCharm. Okay, then you can continue from here. Okay. For example, if I write here print and hello world, so what will happen? What will happen? Here is the run button. Here is the run button. So when you run, the hello world will print. Okay, hello world will print. Okay, this is what run. You can execute from here and here as well. Okay, And if you want to, we have Python console as well. Python console as well. For example, here you can also check. This is what this is what interactive mode. It provides interactive mode as well. Like hello, if you will write here, it will print here as well. This is what interactive mode, and this is what programmable mode. This is what programmable mode. Okay. For example, if I write program here, the same program. Okay, this program I already write on which Python ideally. Now we will write here on PyCharm the same code. This is what function definition. This is what a function definition. Okay, and this is what function calling. Calling means executable statements. How many executable statements are there? 5. So when I run this code, so how many times hello world will print? 5 times. It will print 5 times. Okay, so we will write our code on Python PyCharm. Okay, we will write here on PyCharm. Right? Let's continue our presentation. Okay, so for example, see this example. For example, if you want to print welcome, so you will write here print and welcome. Then here is the function definition. Say hello. We have a function name is say hello, and inside function what written hello, this is my first function. For example, if I write this code, so what will happen? So for example, if I write here print welcome. I hope this text visible to you everyone. I hope it is visible. If it is not visible, you can comment me. I will improve the font size. I will increase the font size. Okay, no worry. Whatever suggestion you want to give, whatever feedback you want to give, you can friendly give me feedbacks or suggestion. Okay, like it will really help me to improve. Okay, quality of the video. So you can comment your feedback as well as suggestion. All right. Okay. So for example, this is what I want to print welcome. Okay, I want to write a function. Okay, what is function? Say hello. Say hello is a function. Okay. Function name is what? Function name is identifier, and identifier is not be cannot be keyword. Okay. And here I will write hello. I will write here hello. This is my first function. What I will write here? This is my first function. Okay. So tell me when I run this code, so what it will print? What it will print? If I run this code, so what it will print? It will print only welcome. It will print only welcome. Why? Because this is what an executable statement. This is what executable statement. Correct. And this is what? This is function definition. This is function definition. Function definition. Okay, this is what a function definition. So it is not an executable statement. So if you want to execute this function, so what you will write? You will write calling statement. Calling statement you will write. Okay, how you will call? You can simply call this function by writing the function name. What is the function name? What is the function name? Say hello is the function name. So simply you will write here say hello. Okay, so your function will call. This is also an executable statement. Executable statement. This is also an executable statement. Okay, if I run this code, so what it is printing? First, it is printing welcome because it is also an executable statement, and then it is printing what? Hello, this is my first function because we have another executable statement. There are two executable statement here. That's why we have two output. Okay. For example, if I write again, say hello. This is another executable statement. Okay. If I run my code, so what will happen? This three executable statement will print. First, welcome will print. Okay. Then hello. This is my first function, and again it will print hello. This is my first function. I hope you are getting everyone. Okay. So when we call the function, okay. So if we talk about this one, if we talk about not this one, if we talk about this one particular area like this one, so this is what function definition. This is function definition, and here we are calling the function. When you are call the function, check name should be the same. Function name and calling name should be the same. So we can say executing function, or we can say calling function, or we can say executable statement. Okay, calling function, executing function, or executable statement, both are the same thing. These are the same terms. Okay, and then we are printing hello, and a equals to 100, b equals to 200. and c equals to a plus b. So this is also an executable statement. This is also an executable statement, and print also an executable statement. Okay, so if I ask you like how many executable statements are there in this program, so you will say the first executable statement is print welcome, second is say hello, and third is print hello, and fourth is a equals to 100, third is b equals to 200, and fourth is c equals to a plus b, and fifth is c print c. So total five executable statements are there. Okay, so now you are able to understand what is the function definition and what is the executable statement or calling of the function. Okay, for example, see this example. For example, if I write function 1, and if I say inside function 1 and function 2 and inside function 2, function 3 and inside function 3. If I call this function, then only this will print inside the function 1. If I call, then only it will print. If I call this function, so it will print this. If I call this function, so it will print this inside 3 function. What we are doing here, we are calling the function. Once the call function completed, then it come back to this function. It come back to the same function. It come back to the same function. So once this function is completed, then only it will execute the second function. Once the second function is completed and flow return to the second function, then it will execute third function. Okay. For example, see here, I will write the code for the same. Okay. For example, I'm writing function. Whenever you will write function, you will start from def keyword. Def is a keyword. Then you will give name. Okay, function 1, and here you will write print message, you will write inside function 1. Okay, inside function 1, and same here you will write another function def keyword function 2, which is user defined name. Okay, and here I will write print inside function 2, inside function 2. Okay, then I will write again def is a keyword function 3. Okay, and here I will write print inside inside function 3, inside function 3. Okay, so how many executable statements are there? Tell me how many executable statements are there? There is no executable statements. There is no executable statement. We can say this is function definition. This is function definition. This is function definition. If there is no executable statement, so it will print anything? No, it will not print anything. Why? Because there is no executable statement. So we will write here. Now we will write what calling statement. We will call the function. How we can call the function? We will write simply function name. What is the first function name? Fun1. If I write fun1 and if I run the code, so what will happen? Okay, what's the error? Okay, here I forgot to close. Okay. So if I run this code, so what will happen? It will print inside the function one, because we have one executable statement calling a function. Calling function. Okay, so we are calling f1. Okay, now we will call f2. Okay, so when I call f2, so inside f2 will print inside f2, and if I call f3 function f3, okay, so what will happen? Inside function 3 will come. Inside function 3 will come. Okay, like this we can call the function. Now how many total executable statements are there? Three. Total three executable statements are there. So this is calling of the function. This is also calling of the function, and here is also calling of the function. When you are calling the function, make sure your function name and calling name should be same. Function name and calling name should be same. Calling name and function name should be same. Then only you can call. I hope you are understanding. I hope you are getting everyone. All right. Okay. See this example. See this example now. Okay. Here is the example. Okay. For example, we have function one. Okay. Function one and print function without parameter. We have function without parameter. Parameters means like, for example, we have function. What function? Function one. We have function one. If you give some parameters, means like you are giving value here. You are writing here like a comma b. So this is what parameters. This is what parameters tell me this function have parameters. No, there is no parameter in this function. And about this function, we have two parameters in this function, which is a and b. We have a as well as b as a parameter. Okay, hope you are getting. For example, if I run this code, okay, let me write the code. Okay, so what I will write here, for example, def 1 1. Okay, I will write here print hello, print hello. Okay, so if I write here, if I call function one, so We are calling without parameter. Without parameter. This function is without parameter. Okay, if I run this code, so what will print? Okay, what's the mistake? Okay, colon, I forgot colon. Okay, so if I run this code, so what it will print? It will print hello. Simply it will print hello. Okay, if I pass the input, so can I pass the input? Can I pass the parameter or input? No, I cannot pass the parameter. Function one, see the error. What error? Type error is there. Okay, function one takes zero positional argument, but one was given. Okay, it is taking zero argument because means there is no argument. If you are sending 10 here, if you're sending 10 from here, so there should be a receiver. For example, A is a receiver. So we can say how many parameters is there, how many parameters are there in this function. So we have one parameter, which is A. Okay, it is a receiver point. It will receive 10. It will receive 10 from the calling. What we are doing here, we are calling function. We are calling function. When we call the function, we pass input and the definition. When we write the definition of the function, so we write parameter. Parameter receive the input. Okay. So when I run this code, so there is no error because here we are sending input and we have receiver also. If I print A. So what is the A value? A value would be 10. A value would be 10. Correct. If I run this code, so what will happen? Hello and 10 will print. Okay. If I not send any value, so can I receive value? If I'm not sending any value, can I receive the value? No, I cannot receive the value because there is no sending value. So error is coming. What's the error? Type error is coming. Okay, so if you are receiving one value, you will send one value like 10. If you want to send two values, then there should be two receivers. Okay, two receivers like A and B. Okay, if I run this code, so what it will print? It will print hello and it will print 10 because we are printing only A. Okay, if you want to print B also, so you will write print B. Okay, now this time it will print what it will print? 10 it will print and 20 it will print. Okay, if I run this code, so first message is hello, second A value, and third is B value. See, first message is hello, first is A value, and second is B value. Hope you are getting. All right. Okay. So what we are doing here, we are calling function. This is what? This is calling function. Calling function. Calling function. But without parameter, there is no parameter. But we are sending this. We are sending input. We are sending what? Input. Input is what? 10. So is there any receiver here? One can receive the value. No, one cannot receive the value because there is no receiver variable, or we can say there is no parameter. So this will execute fine, but this will give error. What error? Type error it will give. See, type error it is giving. Correct? See, understand this. If function does not require any input to perform operations, it is defined without parameter. Okay, if function does not require any input to perform operation, it is defined without parameter. Okay, for example, see this example now. For example, we have function draw line function. Okay, and here what we are doing, we are writing a loop. Okay, for is a keyword, and I is a user defined variable. In is a membership operator, range is a data type. Okay, so we are writing what? For loop, and we are printing star, and by default line end with space, and then we are printing line. So what we are doing, we are printing this star line. We are printing this star line. Okay. So here is the code for printing star line, and then what is the name of this function? Draw line. So we are calling draw line function. Then we are printing Python, and again we are calling draw line function in order to draw the line. Which line? Star better line. Star better line. Okay. Then we are again what we are doing? Again we are writing some print statement. Then again we are calling the draw line function. Okay, let's try this program. Okay, let's try this program. Okay, for example, we have a function. We have a function like def. Whenever you will write function, you will use def keyword. Then you will give name to the function. Okay, what's the name of the function? For example, name of the function is draw line. Okay, draw line. For example, if you are writing draw line, so you cannot give space like this. Instead of space, what you will do, you will use capital letter in order to separate the words. Okay, draw is a one word and line is another word, and separation with the help of uppercase you can separate, but you cannot give the space. Okay, instead of you can give underscore, but you cannot give what? Space. This is a better practice to write in camel casing. Okay. For example, I want to draw the line. So what I will write? I will write for loop I in range. And what's the range? The range is let's say 20. And what I want to do? I want to print star. I want to print star. Okay. And default end is space. Okay. If I am not giving this end, it will Print from new line, each line containing one star, but I don't want one star in one line. I want more than one star in one line. And then after when you come out from the loop, I will print the line. I will change the line. Okay. So if I run this code, nothing will print. Nothing will print. Why it is not printing? Because we have a function definition. We have the function definition, but what is the missing? Function calling is missing. Function calling is missing. For example, how we can call? We have to write the function name. What is the function name? Draw line. So this is what a calling statement. Calling calling function, you can say. This is calling function. When you write something from hash, it is comment. So comment is not a executable statement, but this is what executable statement. Okay. When this function will call, then only this, when we write calling statement, then only it will get the memory. Then only it will get the memory. Otherwise, it will not get a memory. Okay. If I run this code, so one line is printing. Okay, because we are calling this. For example, now if I write here print Python. So what will happen? I can write the print Python. Okay, line is printing and print Python is the second executable statement. Then again, I want to draw line. So what I will do, I will write draw line function. Draw line function. Okay, so what will happen? Okay, so what will happen if I run the code? So what's the output? First line is printing. Okay, see first line is printing. Then Python. Python is printing. Okay, and then again we have draw line. Okay, again we have draw line. Okay, if I write something again, like if I write print, and what I want to write, programming language. If I write programming language, and then again I want to draw the line. Okay, draw line. Okay, so if I run the code, so what will happen? Okay, so this line is printing because of draw line. Python is printing. Python is printing because of print Python. Again line is printing because of draw line. Okay, then again Python programming is printing and draw line is printing. Like this, we can create the function. Okay, we create the draw line function only one time, but we are calling how many times? One, two, three times. Three times we are calling draw line function, and each time it's drawing the line. We write code once and we are calling it again and again. Okay, like this. You can practice. Okay, everyone, you need to practice also. Once you practice, then only you gain the confidence in programming. All right. Now we will discuss about the local variables. We will discuss about local variables. So a variable created inside the function is called local variable. Okay, a variable is created inside the function is called local variable. For example, def. Okay, def, and we have function one. Function one. So if you are creating here a equals to 10, so this is what? This is local variable. This is what? Local variable. Okay. So this variable is used within function, but cannot exist outside the function. This particular variable you can use inside the function, but you cannot use this function inside, or you can say outside the function. You cannot use this variable. You can use this variable inside the function only. Okay, this is the use of local variable. For example, see this program. Everyone, you need to practice this program. See this program example. We have add function. We have add function. We are taking input from the user, enter first number and enter second number. And what we are doing, we are adding two numbers and we are printing sum of two number using f string. Okay, when I call this function, so what would be the output? Enter first number, let's say 10, enter second number, let's say 20. Sum of 10 and 20 is 30. Okay, and this variable is known as n1 is local variable, n1 is local variable, n2 is local variable, and n3 is also local variable. Okay, we can use this n1, n2, n3 inside the function only, but we cannot use outside the function. Correct? See, the memory for local variables is allocated when function is called. Okay, when function is called, memory of local variable is created and deallocated if done after execution of function. When function execution done, memory deleted. Okay. For example, if I write here def and function one, all right, and if I write here a equals to 10, a equals to 10. For example, one memory is created. Memory for a is created. Okay, when we call the function, okay, when we are calling function like fun one, if we are calling function, then only it is memory is created. Once the call execution of this statement completed, so this memory will destroy. This memory will destroy. Okay, if you will not write any calling statement, so this function will never get the memory. It will get the memory only you will call the function. If you call the function, then only it will get the memory. Otherwise, it will not get any memory. I hope you are getting. So local variable destroy when the function call completed. Okay, local variable is created when you call the function in the memory. Okay, so more than one function can have local variable with same name. More than one function can have local variable with same name. Okay, see this example. For example, we have function one, x equals to 100. So this is local variable. This is f1 function one local variable, and we have function two, and we have same name function variable, same name local variable. X equals to 100 in function one, x equals to 200 function one. Okay, so when we call function one, when we call the function one, okay, let me take the water. Okay, when you call the function, so what will happen? Memory will create it. Memory for memory for x is created. Okay, like 100. Okay, memory is created for this x. Okay, this local variable. Okay, when you call x2, when this call is completed, when function call is completed, okay, so it will destroy the memory. When you call f2, so another memory will create for f2. Okay, x value is now 200. Okay, so another memory is created for f2. Okay, once this function invocation is completed, this memory will delete. Okay, then again you call f1. Again, if you call f1, so again one memory is created for local variable of f1. What's the local variable of f1? X. X is the local variable. So here again memory is created. Okay, for x. Once this function call is completed, so it will reallocate the memory. I hope you are getting. Okay. So if I run f1, if I call f1, so what it will print? It will print this message x of fun1. X means 100. Okay, here x means 100 of fun1, 200 fun2, and 100 fun1. Okay. Okay. Local variable, each local variable have its own scope, on variable, or we can say memory. Okay, now we will see global variable. A variable created outside the function is called global variable. Global variables are created to share data between more than one function. Okay, if you want to share data between more than one function, you will use global variable. Okay, so global variables define outside the function. For example, num1 is what a global variable. Num2 equals to 200, which is a global variable. If you want to, if you want to share this data among the functions, same data. Okay, so you will use global function. Local variable data we cannot share between the functions, but global variable data we can share among the functions. For example, we have add function, so we can add these two values. We have subtract function, we can subtract these two values. Correct? So here we are calling the function. We are calling this again function also. Okay. So when you call this function add, then only it will get memory. Then only this function will get memory. When you call sub function, then only it will get the memory. Okay. So what's the output? Sum is 300 and difference is 100 minus 100. Okay. So for example, we have another global variable x equals to 100, which is a global variable because it is defined outside the function. Okay. And function one we have and y equals to 200, which is local variable because it is inside the function. Okay. This one is outside the function. This one is inside the function. So y is what? Local variable. If I will print x here. So what global variable is printing? If I print local variable, so I will simply write the name of the local variable. Here 100 will print and here 200 will print. Okay, for example, we have another function fun2. Okay, and we have local variable z, local variable x. Okay, so we have local variable x as well as we have global variable x. But when you print x, so first priority will take to the local variable. If local variable name x, so local variable data will print. Here 500 will print and z data is 300, which is local variable. It will print. Here x is a local variable and z is local variable. Okay, I hope you are getting. If I run fun1, so fun1 will execute. If I write fun2, if I call fun2, so fun2 will execute. Okay, so like this is the output of function one. This is the output of this line. This is the output of this line. Okay, and this is the output of this line. This is the output of this line. Hope you're getting. Everyone, you need to practice the program. Then only you can detect the logic. Okay, once you practice, you will improve. Okay, so if you want to improve, then practice. I will provide the link. I will share the link of this presentation. You can utilize this presentation in order to improve your skills. Okay. See, global variable can be accessed within function directly, but cannot modify or update directly. But cannot modify or update directly. Global function can be accessed within function, but cannot modify directly or update directly. What we are doing here, see this example again. See this example and try to understand what's the modification and updation. Okay. For example, we have global function x and we have local function x. What we are doing, we are updating the value x equals to 5. So it will reflect here. No, it will not update. It will print local variable only. Okay. But it will not update the value. X value remains same. X global variable value will remain 100. We cannot change the global variable value inside the function. Inside the function, we cannot update the global variable value. Okay. See, for example, we have this function x equals to 100, which is a global variable, and we have function 1. If I print x, so global variable data will print. If I write another function fun2, and we have same name x equals to 500. So if I print x, if I print x, okay, if I print x, so which data it will print? It will print local data, local data. Okay, it will print local data. If I call f1, so what will happen? X value will print, x global value will print. If I print f2, so x local value, which is 500, will print. If I again call f1, so 100 again will call. This statement cannot update the global variable data, correct? So 100, 500, and 100 is printing. Okay, see this global keyword. Okay, if you want to update the global variable data, so you will use global keyword. See here, global keyword is used to access and modify global global variables within the function. Okay, if you want to change global variable data within the function, then you will use global keyword. Without global keyword, a function can access without global keyword, a function can access global variables but cannot modify global variables data. Okay. You can access the global variable function. You can access the global variable function like this you are accessing, but you cannot modify. You cannot modify the global variable. Global variable will not modify inside the function. If you really want to modify the global variable data from the inside the function, then what you will do? You will use global keyword. You will use global keyword. Okay. So see the syntax. Syntax is nothing but you have to write the keyword which is global, and then you will write the variable. Okay. For example, we have this is what? A global variable, and we have this function. We have this function. Okay. Here what we are doing, we are accessing global data. So it will print 100. It will print 100. And here what we are doing, see this block of function. So we have function 2, and we are using global keyword. Global keyword. So and we are writing a equals to 500 and a equals to 500, and we are printing a. So what will happen this time? If I call function 1 and function 2 and again function 1, so function 1 value is 100, and for function 2 value is 500, and value is updated again 500. So what happening here? Please try to understand, everyone. Please once again try to understand. Okay. So for example, we have global variable 100. If we are accessing data, so it will print 100. Then we are accessing global data using global keyword, and we are updating. So we are using global keyword, so it will update successfully. If we will not use this global keyword, it will not update the global data. Okay. So as we are using global keyword, so our data is updated. Now x value is what? According to this statement, x value now become 500. It will not 100, but it will become 500. So it will print 500 here. And one more time, if we call F1, so here it will print what? The previous value was 10, sorry, 100. 100, it will print 100. And this statement will print which value? X value for function 2, A value is what? A value is 500. So it will print 500. Okay, as we use global keyword, so value is updated. X value is updated. Now it will become 500. It will become 500. So again, if I call F1, so this time it will print 500, not 100, but it will print 500. Hope you are getting. Okay, see this example. For example, base equals to 0 and height equals to 0, which are nothing but global variables. Okay, for example, if I write read function and global base and height, if I'm using global keyword, then we can easily update. We can update what? Update the data of global variable. Okay, see here, base equals to, we are taking base from the user. We are taking base from user, and height we are taking from the user. Okay, because this is what function? This is read function. We are reading base as well as we are reading height from the user. We are getting value from the user. And we have another function. We have another function called find area. Then what we are doing, we are writing a equals to 0.5, and we are multiplying this base into height. Okay, then we are writing area of triangle. So if we will call read function, so this read function get memory, it will execute. Then once execution of completed of the read function, find area function will execute, find area function will execute. Okay, and this will print. Okay, like this. Okay, so as we use global keyword, then only we modified the value of which of this base and height. Without global keyword, we cannot update or modify the value of global variables inside the function. We cannot modify from the inside the function. Okay, we cannot modify global variable data inside the function without using global keyword. All right. So for example, see this example, everyone. See this example. So we have x equals to 100, which is a global variable. We have function 1, and we have two local variables, x equals to 200, y equals to 300. How many local variables are there? Two local variables are there. Okay. If I print x, so what it will print? If I print x, so it will print local data, which is 200. If I print y, so it will print local data, which is 300. If I use global, so now it will fetch this. Okay, fetch global variable, and it will print this x will print what? It will print 100. Okay, I hope you are getting, because what is the use of global keyword and what is the function. But when we call this function, so this is what calling of the function. When we call this function will execute. This function will execute. Okay, I hope you are getting, everyone. And after that we have globals method. We have global methods. Okay, see what's the use of global methods. This function return global dictionary. This function return what? Global dictionary object. Okay. This global dictionary object contains global names, variable, function name, like that. Okay. So for example, if I writing def, okay, and def, for example, if I'm writing here read, okay, and I'm creating outside the function variable like a equals to 100. So this is what global variable. This is what a global variable. Okay. So what I'm saying, this is global variable, and this global variable saved inside what? Inside the dictionary, global dictionary, or we can say global namespace. It's saved this global variable managed by global dictionary. Okay, this is the main. For example, we have x equals to 100, which is a global variable, and definition. We have function one definition like x equals to 200, which is local variable, y equals to 300, which is again local variable. If I print x, so local data will print, which is nothing but 200 will print here. If I print y, so 300 will print here. Okay. If I write a equals to globals, if I write a equals to globals, okay. If I write a equals to globals, globals is what? A dictionary, and dictionary is what? Dictionary contain key and values. Dictionary contain key and values. If I write a and x, if I write a x, okay. So here global variable is what? X. So we are fetching a x. We are fetching what? A x. Okay, we are taking reference of global variables inside what? A. We get the reference of global dictionary. Okay, which containing all the global variables. We got the reference of global dictionary, and we are saying a of x. Okay, and I'm modifying this value like this is like 900. So if I print function one, if I print function one, and if I write x, so what will happen? So this is the output you can see. Okay, so this is the output of this print. Okay, what's the output? 200, and this is the output of this 300. Okay, then we are accessing globals from the dictionary, and what I'm doing here, I'm printing x. What's the x value? X value is 100, and then we are modifying x value using global dictionary reference. So it is what? 900. Hope you're getting. Once you practice the code, you will get detect the logic easily. Okay, I will share this presentation link, and you can practice the code. All right, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for giving your valuable time. Thank you. Okay, so everyone, please download the PyCharm and practice on PyCharm ideally, so that we can mention in our resume, what we can mention experience like we explore PyCharm as well. If we work on PyCharm, we can say in our CV. Okay, that's why from this video onwards, we will work on PyCharm. Okay, later we will move another ideally, but from this time we will use PyCharm. All right. So be the part of this training course. All right, everyone, please be the part of this training course. Be the consistent candidate. Like consistently follow the video lectures. Okay, and try to learn. If you are getting the concept, then it's okay. If you are not getting the concept, you can comment me. Okay, you can comment your problem or doubt, and I will try to resolve your query. All right. Thank you, everyone. And also, you can give me suggestion or feedback for improvement of this training course. Okay, your feedback and suggestion is really valuable and appreciable for me. All right. Thank you, everyone. And don't forget to smile. Okay. Always keep a smile on your face. Okay. In all kind of situations. Okay. And problems are temporary. Problems are temporary. And be ready for the future. And be ready for your next move. Okay. We have to plan our next moves always. Okay. Because we don't know about the situation. Circumstances and situation can change suddenly. Okay. Okay. Life change suddenly. So always prepare your next step. Correct, everyone? Or we can say next move. Always plan your next move. Okay, because we don't know what happens. Okay, so thank you everyone for giving your valuable time. Bye everyone.